Sorry, after 47-10, I thought having a beer would be appropriate. This is Kyle Nash, the student of the game, with this edition of the Duval Dive live coming at you. Not a great night for you, the Duval devout out there on Monday Night Football. Was it 47-10 that I saw? Yeah, that's not a rough thing, I'm sure. But listen, folks, we are here to be whatever psychology, whatever therapy, whatever sounding board you need. Hit it up in the comments. This is a family show, so we won't say all the words you might want to use tonight. But I can guarantee you that we will help you through whatever questions, whatever feelings, whatever you're going through. We're here for you, Duval Devout, for the next year time while we're doing the the instant reaction to the Bills and the Jags. But before I go forward, I need a personal champion. You guys probably need it more. Let me bring in my personal champion, Travis D. Holmes of Big Cat Country. What's going on, my man?
I mean, what's going on is I am up this time of night to watch something that I didn't want to watch after what, the end of the second quarter, not even the end of the first quarter. Bro, I'm so mad. I'm not even mad for the team at this point. I'm mad for myself. I'm selfish.
I mean, listen, I would make a joke about that tracking for defensive backs, but I can make the argument you were the first one I've seen all night. No, listen, before we get into too much of what will be clearly a therapy session for the Duval Devout. There, I will bring in what I would note the positive for the game overall, and that, without question, is Christian Kirk coming off of the back of the milk carton and having an excellent football game tonight in his own right.
Sure, we can go with that.
Sure, Kev.
Um, no. We can go with that because that's a fair takeaway from it. But it just seems like such a small. It seems like such a minute thing at this point. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the part that stinks. Is we're so pro Christian Kirk that it's crazy on this show, and
Nice.
it doesn't even matter in the context of everything else that's going around with is going on with this team right now. Like, so Christian Kirk is this great, takeaway from the game, but at the end of the day is saying, cool, I got a glass of water for this house that's on fire. Like, it's such a small thing, man, at this point.
That's actually a fantastic take by you. I can't get mad at it. I did like that a quarterback sneak with Trevor was actually executed on the night, but
Right.
yeah, that's something we saw and did see. Fourth down in the first part of the game wasn't so bad for the Jags, but
Bro, it only took them 3 years to get a quarterback sneak from Trevor Lawrence. Wow, this is coaching.
more on that later, I'm sure, because that's totally the thing that's going to save somebody's job. Anyways, we'll get to that later,
Right.
like I said. But with that out of the way, listen, I mean, my man Ramon Jones comes in with the comments already. Offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. The dude is
Yep.
absolutely right. And of course, our good friend Michael Clinton jumps in. Hey, you did make it to the comments too. Check out the podcast later if you want, though, Mike. But there isn't enough water to put out that fire. They need to clean house and the entire coaching staff, all the way up through to the GM. Like I said, more on
Yeah.
that later. I'm sure that's going to come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen. Obviously, the desert that is 0-3 is problematic, right? I think you and I at this point were saying 2-1 was a reasonable place to be, maybe 1-2. That is not what's happened here. And I think the
No.
biggest problem, Travis, is it's stuff that's going on that's not necessarily immediately solvable. Would you agree with that statement?
Uh, any other coach, any other situation, I might be able to be sold on the fact that this might be salvageable. This individual team, this situation, where we are in the growth of this team and everything else, like the fact that this isn't a second year coach, this isn't a first year coach, where maybe this could be like like I don't see what changes this, what moves that needle for this locker room. Like, we've been talking about this for a week, like you and I, like we've been talking about this for a while. How the vibe around the team just seems defeated. It just seems deflated. It seems like, what the heck is going on between this front office, between the GM, between the coach, between the players, and that dynamic and everything else. And this is proof. This wasn't about the Buffalo Bills being so significantly better than the Jacksonville Jaguars, roster wise, scheme wise,
Right.
etc. This was so much more than that. Like they did seem outcoached, yes, but they did seem outplayed, yes, but they did seem out efforted. I don't know the word I'm
It's
looking
a
for.
word
They seemed
now.
out
Yeah.
hustled,
Yeah.
and all of it, like heart, soul, scheme, ability, all of it seemed just like we are playing two different games at this point right now, and that's something that I don't think you can come back from. No, not significantly different than the 2023 San Francisco 49ers game. Ever since that game that started this downturn of the Jacksonville Jaguars, it has not gotten better, and it just seemed like they are struggling to find identity. They're struggling to find heart. They're struggling to put this thing together. And frankly, there's just no coming back from that, GM and coach.
Yeah, no, well, I gotta give shouts to this comment. Glad someone else had almost as bad a week as my Dolphins. I mean, I'll put it this way: the argument might be that the inverse is the problem. Like you guys, you Dolphins may be a quarterback away. The Jags, I believe, are wrong all over the place. I mean, listen, I said I promised people therapy. Let Mike come in again. Can't develop flavor. Scheme is pedestrian, unimaginative. Team won't win over 4 games. Gonna need a lot of spirits for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Obviously, he is referencing your "This Team Makes Me Drink" shirt. I feel like it's appropriate for me to take a sip of my beer. So yeah, no, I mean the pieces. I mean, listen. First of all, let's get one thing out of the way that I think is fair to mention. At least
all right.
the injuries in the defensive back core are a factor. Sure,
Yes,
we
sure.
have to be fair. We have to account for the fact. Heck, even Jari and Jones left the game in the first quarter to make matters even worse. There's a reason
Yeah,
Keon Coleman got his first touchdown tonight, and that was tearing up that group, and rightly so. Here's let
that's
me
fair.
start with this because we listen, Travis. You and I have called out the defensive back injuries before. They've been part of not only this show but part of my keys to both the previous 2 games in my Fans First Sports Network articles. The offensive line interior, in similar fashion, has been mentioned since the preseason as a factor, right? Here's where I'm most disappointed. Help me with this.
Yeah,
The defensive line is unacceptably bad. They are getting pushed all over the field. I get it. Maybe they're concentrating on Josh Allen, but what happened to everybody? I feel like they're just getting pushed all
well,
over the place. Now, some of it is, for example, on 3rd and 5, I would curse if I could, but I can't, so I won't. On 3rd and 5, you are taking Eric Armstead out of the middle of the line. I didn't know weed
yeah.
was legal in Buffalo. What's going on? I'm the non-fan here, and I'm insulted by this. Give me something, Travis, to tell me that I just might be wrong. You can't. Damn it. I saw your eyes pop up.
What am I going to give you that tells you that you shouldn't be rotating some of your best players as often as they rotate their best players? But that's been something that was a Ryan Nielsen staple in Atlanta. We knew that walking in, we knew that eyes wide open. That's the coach that they hired. That's what they wanted to do for development purposes or whatever other reason you want to, tag onto that. That is who he is. It is what it is. I can't tell you why that's a good idea based on the results that we're seeing on the field, but
Third
that
and
is what it is.
five against Josh expletive deleted Allen.
I know, but let's be real about this. Can I be real about this, man? Because I'm already in my feelings. I'm already pissed off, and this is what it is. Like I need people to understand. Again, I cover this team. I am an actual fan of this team. This team actually does make me drink. I am absolutely pissed off with this organization right now, and when I see the people to their face, I still ask them questions like a professional because that's what we do. But
Travis is the professional. I'm just the witty talent hosting the show. Let's be clear.
but to be clear, we are not mad about the rotation. We are, but we're not. We're mad because they got beat the hell. They got
I
the doors
mean,
beat. They got the Bates beat in on primetime TV. They didn't give up an insane, rushing amount of rushing yards. Like they gave up what was it like around 100 yards rushing basically. Um, Overall, between Ray Davis, James Cook, Josh Allen was the leading rusher for the Bills when he had 44 yards rushing. Uh, we didn't really like get destroyed on the run. They got destroyed in the passing game, and we
yeah.
already established that the the DBs are, you're down your top two. I mean, by the end of the game, you're down, three of your top five defensive backs after losing Jari and Jones early. You can't play. I mean, I'm having this argument in my group chat. You can't play man because the guys. I mean, you can't. You literally can't guard Shakur. You can't play zone because he's nickel and diming you literally up and down the field for two of the series. What do you do in that situation? Hey man, you SOL. But that
Well,
wasn't all of it.
I said the part you're leaving out is you're getting no help up front. None.
That
Zero.
ain't all of it. Exactly.
Nil.
Exactly.
Niente. Yeah.
But he's also, but he's also. This is the same thing that the Jaguars struggled with last year, and some people were on the timeline saying, "Hey, man, you might have scapegoated the wrong defensive coordinator last year." And I don't want to go that far. I want to be clear. This is what people are talking about because hurt people hurt people. But that's what the folks, that's what the streets are saying. I don't want to say that, but I will say in this situation, you're kind of stuck when you're playing a quarterback who was actually getting the ball out on time. That was the issue that the Jaguars had last year. That's the issue they were having in this game. And if I did have a frustration with Ryan Nielsen in this game, and I said it on the timeline, I said it for the first three drives of the game, why the hell are you not putting these men in bump and run situations? Even if you're not bump and running them, you just give them just give them press alignment and bail, just to take away the quick stuff on alignment. And he wasn't doing it for the first three series, and that made me feel like, is this dude over his head? Like, I know I trust Ryan Nielsen to forget most football, but I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's a great question too. By the way, I talk all this stuff about Eric Armstead. Let me reiterate, I don't see a world where it's ever a great idea to take Foye Oluokun off the field. I don't want to be that guy that forgets about Foye, because people should not forget about Foye, because damn it, he's a fine human being. I've enjoyed every moment I've gotten to talk to him. Also happens to be arguably, if not the most underrated bleeding NFL football player with whom I personally interacted, period, point blank, end of story. So now they got that out of my system, standing for Foye.
But but Foye left the game also.
Eventually.
He left the game with a foot injury. Anton left with a knee injury. Jarian, obviously, left with his shoulder injury. And that's in addition to all the other stuff we have going on with the other injuries around the team. Boy.
The comments are coming in, and like we promised,
let's get to them. Let's get to them.
Yeah. So the troll Pats. There's no dread. The OT, the Tackles had a terrible game. I think the biggest regression so far. I've not been a Cam Robinson guy, Travis. You know this. I think we both agreed that maybe extending him back 3 years ago now wasn't the best move. He's been a problem lately. I'll agree with that.
Bro, Cam gave up a sack today to a fourth string or third or fourth string defensive tackle. What are we doing?
Wrong.
What is happening?
Another comment coming in here. Some more. If the entire team is underperforming, it's a huge indictment on the coaches. That's
I said this early this offseason. I mean, we have it recorded on one of these YouTube shorts, so one of these podcasts, anyways.
Oh, hey, I always Whole Dive YouTube channel, right?
Of course, like and subscribe if you're listening. Come on, man, help us out. Help a brother. But no, I said it then. I thought that Doug Peterson was not just coaching for his job. I thought Doug Peterson was coaching for his legacy. Yeah, and that's to be clear, because again, he was always regarded as this, top offensive coordinator. He was always regarded as this guy who's the quarterback whisperer, who can take Nick Foles and Carson Wentz and make him into an MVP candidate and win these championships. And that sounds great when you do it once, but can you do it twice? And also, can you take this quarterback who's historic, I mean, for the most part, across the league seen as this great ball of clay that you can mold, who's quote unquote generational, and can you make him look average to above average? He's been struggling to make this offense just look like a reasonable offense, like schematically. And a lot of guys who watch football, who watch tape, I consider myself one of them.
You are
not to the level of those, big guys. Brett Coleman, I love him,
please. Just take the credit that you got the talent. Just tell them what you see.
But the point is, schematically, bro, there's nothing there. Like, there's a lot of nothing on a lot of plays, and I'm just like, yo, what are we doing? We're literally running, 3 verts and no checkdowns on who's your hot on this? Who's like on that? Like,
keep in the end zone so that your offensive line gives up a safety. Sorry,
that's last week. Yeah. Well, we had another one. We had another play that was similar to that this week. It was like a 4th down play where they ran everyone like 15 yards down the field, and I'm like, what are we doing? Where's your hot? what is happening here? Like, I don't understand the logic. I don't understand the scheme. And as much as I want to say Trent Baalke, you screwed over this roster construction, we've known that from day one. We've talked
Right.
about this so much that we're all blue or black. I'm purple black at this point in the face.
No
Like, it is what it
disrespect.
is.
No disrespect to Brenton Strange and Tank Bigsby. We think they're good
No, no,
players.
no.
That doesn't
That's
make them
not
the right pick.
bingo. That's what I try to tell people. They're like, "Well, I think Trent's done a great job." Blah blah blah. Oh, you do. You think Trent's done a good job picking players, and I think he's done a terrible job of building a roster. We ain't having the same conversation.
Oh
Like,
no,
we are talking about different things. I think some people can be great picking this player, that player, this player, and he's average. He may be above average. He's less than average. But is this a good team that you put together? Are they able to play well together? Are they able to play in the same scheme? How about that? If they're not, then you just picking dudes like a dude who playing Madden, and I'm happy you're gonna be out there with them other people playing Madden on the side.
let me jump in some more comments. Actually, let me do Ramon first. It seems we had 7 players on offense. They had 12 players on defense.
Hmm.
Our defense seems to have known linebackers who could cover, other than Foye. But I know he's referring to Kincaid getting 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Sure, especially when he had been quiet this year so far. I think that kind of speaks for
Well,
itself.
he's been quiet so far because they haven't been passing the ball. Let's be real about this. We were the first team that Buffalo passed the ball, and they said, "Well, we're gonna show y'all something." We
Yeah,
were the
and that's a
homecoming.
conversation we had with Little 2K on the show on Wednesday here on the Duval Dive. Great point, Travis.
I feel offended that the Jacksonville Jaguars were the Buffalo Bills homecoming game. We were Appalachian State today. That's
Oh,
what that was.
certainly. The biggest embarrassment I would imagine one could feel as an NFL DB core. I talked about what an NFL O line, what the most embarrassing thing was is giving up a game securing safety. How
Mm.
about when they bring in Mitch Trubisky because they know they got you wiped that bad, and they score points doing it? That that might be the most embarrassing thing. Let's see. Luke says, "Is it me or did when healthy both Tua and Trevor regress significantly?" No, I don't think that's 100% true,
Hmm.
Luke. Let's give Tua a little bit of credit. I think his
Yeah.
exact sample size in 2024 was a game and a half, maybe. But I think Mike McDaniel was the big problem against the Bills in trying to get too cutesy. I think in Miami,
The Bills have that dude's number, man. They have his number. I
that's
love
another fair point.
schematically what they do every time they play against them. Like, they have their number. They know how to beat them in the I mean, we are talk about it's a week by week league schematic. Like it's a playbook by playbook, scheme by scheme league. And Buffalo just has Mike's number. They just know how to play him well.
I mean, listen,
And every
the
team
Bills
can't do it.
the Bills have a nickel defense and can still get you with the front four. If you aren't smart enough to take
Yeah.
take a lesson from the guy that learned to live life without Tyreek Hill and run a scheme more like that and not try to throw the ball deep on everything, which is a
Right.
problem the Jags have had, like you just mentioned, right? That's the issue. And listen,
Right.
I'm a Mike McDaniel dude. I think he is a bad man pajama for such a nerd. I said what I said, whatever. But yeah, that's the problem. These Tua,
Yeah.
I have my issues with Tua. I would not say regression yet. And yeah, we'll just say
Trevor's
Tua.
thing is different, and Trevor's thing is different. I mean, because again, it's such a weird thing to say Trevor is a problem, and also say Trevor's not even the top 3 problems on the team.
He's
Like,
not.
it's like you can objectively say Trevor has not had a good game 2 weeks in a row. I mean, screw that. Let's be clearer. Trevor's had probably some of his worst games. The last 2 games I've seen of him after he got the bag, which is saying something. Um, and I still don't know that Trevor's a top 3 issue on this team because that's how bad the other issues on this team are, and I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do with that is I'm watching the Monday Night Football commentary, which is terrible. I'll be honest. I don't know who this other guy is, but he alleges he's a DB, which means Travis could do a better job. I said what I said, but
Wait, we talking about Ryan Clark?
yeah, he needs work. Anyways, I
Whoa.
said what I said, Travis
All right.
Holmes. Okay, I didn't want to say his name out loud, but you had to make it all personal. I say what I said. I take you over him any day of the week. Anyway.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm going to pivot. Sorry. I couldn't resist the dad joke. I'm going to pivot back to my point. What he did constantly point out, is he needs to step through like that. He needs to have time to just step through and make the show. He just needs to be careful and comfortable. Very next play, he gets sacked. Hey, Ryan, it's why he can't do it, bruh.
Mm, yeah,
Anyways.
but that interception still might have been
Oh, no.
top
See, and
three
yeah, you
worst
beat me to it.
interceptions that I've seen from him. I mean, it's not the Pittsburgh Steelers game from last year, but it's top three interceptions. Worst interceptions that I've seen from Trevor. I mean, you gave a dude who hasn't had any interceptions in his career, who nearly died last year. He came back to life just to get an interception off you, bro. Like
Man, why you got to
that's
bring
rough.
up the zombie getting an interception here on the podcast? I thought that was a reference I was going to get away with making on my The Good, the Bad, and the Spotty article on Fans vs. Sports Network.
Mm. He nearly died just to come just to come get an INT off of Jaguar Jesus. And we're struggling, man.
Jaguar Jesus versus zombie. Here we go. Anyways, no, yeah, I listen. And by the way, shouts to DeMar Hamlin. That is a great thing for him to
Yeah,
come
man.
back and do all
Yeah,
that.
man.
It's obviously unfortunate that he didn't win the comeback player of the year because the NFL media wants to tell you about player safety and then give it to Joe Flacco, not a guy who died on the field. I digress. That's that. Listen, you want me to rant more about that? Listen to the student of the game. Anyways, no, but the that was a Trevor style interception. He gets happy feet and the ball sails on him. That's completely what happened. I didn't want to be all like Trevor. Trevor is exonerated in this football game. You beat me to it and bringing it up, but yeah, you're absolutely correct. That was a Trevor style interception.
The last win the Jacksonville Jaguars had was over the Carolina Panthers. They are playing better football than the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, which is just a crazy thing to say.
Wow. Ooh. You going red rifle on this ish?
That's just a
Damn,
crazy thing to say. If the Panthers play the Jaguars today, do you have any doubt in your mind that the Panthers will win? And maybe not even win by like a possession, that they might win by 2 scores?
Well, okay, so let's pump the brakes a wee bit. Like, I think the Carolina Panthers O line is closer to the Dolphins O line, with which the Jags got 3 sacks. So they do have that going.
Yes. Yes. And do they look anything like this team? Do the Jaguars even look like the team that played in week 1?
No, that's
my point.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Yeah. No,
this ain't it, man.
Anyway, so let's go to it. Let's see. Somebody said I'll go with this. Hashtag the
fan. Ramon, I appreciate you, Ramon, man. It makes it impossible, bro. They make it just so damn hard.
Yeah, I got nothing for that. Let's go with this. Best Charles, best birthday present ever. Thanks, Jags.
I don't like you, Charles. but thank you for commenting. But I don't like you though. I don't like you right now.
The troll pass comes back in. Parker Washington drop in the end zone hurt. Yeah, to make matters worse, to see Parker Washington do what he did in the preseason, seeing him drop a short touchdown is a thing. Mike Trem's back in, only addressing the O-line by only signing an aging vet and running it back is the biggest indictment. This sounds familiar, doesn't it, Travis? I believe.
Sure.
There's this guy, Travis Holmes, that said this on the show.
But can we talk about it? Because, again, I want to be clear in saying, like, I have my issues with Balky, and I have my issues with Doug. I have my issues with this team. But if we're looking at this game, just what this game was, and looking at the individual moves that this coach, that this staff has made, we're missing the forest from the trees. We are. And I want to be real about this. Like, I'm with you, Mike. I actually agree with everything that you're saying.
Sure.
However, at the end of all of it, this isn't about individual players at this point. We're past that, and this loss kind of has to show you that. Like, if you've been a Jaguar fan for 10 plus years, you know what you just saw. You know exactly what you just saw on primetime in HD. You just saw a team give up on a coach. There is a 0% chance, like on defense, on offense, special teams didn't even look great. I mean, Cam made his one kick, sure. But, overall.
Hey, listen, you leave Cam Little out of this, bro. Come on now.
I'm talking about the return teams when I say special teams. I'm not talking about Cam. I'm saying Cam did good on his own. You good. Look, Cam, do your thing, bro. But
keep that dude around. Throw the bag at that man.
This isn't about individual moves at this point. This is about, hey, man, the offensive line is a train wreck. It is on fire. Hey, the defensive line is not really getting to the quarterback. We just aren't. The DB core, I mean, the people who were saying that you should have drafted more DBs in, maybe the first round instead of going for a receiver, kind of might have a little, a little feather in the cap this on this glorious Monday. Uh, like across the board, man, just the whole way that this team has been built, it ain't working. The whole way that this roster's being built, it ain't working. The whole way that that locker room is supposed to be behind this coach, obviously it ain't working. I mean, and you've lost 8 of the 9 last plays. That your offensive scheme don't feel like much of a scheme. Like I can run a better plays just grabbing a create your own playbook on Madden and just run those, and it don't seem to be working. So obviously, if none of it's working, burn it all down, burn it to hell. Like this is it. It's a wrap. So I can't even say it's about individual plays that or players that have been gathered this offseason, the draft, the free agency, whatever. This is all about everything that y'all built. This is the combination of everything that you guys have built this offseason, this last 3 years, and it comes down to 47-10, setting Jacksonville Jaguar records in all the worst ways. I ain't here for this, man.
You're not wrong. Luke makes the best point, I think, here. The Cardinals carved up the Bills' defense week 1, first half. But ever since the second half of that game, they've been lights out. Well, consider what they
like
played,
the Buffalo Bills. Oh, yeah, did this feel like the Buffalo Bills dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars on defense?
No more than it did.
Like the Jacksonville Jaguars just tripped over their shoelaces all
day. Yeah, no more than it did. And listen, I've said it several times on this and many shows that the Bills were going to win that football game Thursday. They just happened to claim Tua in the process. So I mean, nobody wants that to happen, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
Let's see a few more comments here. They're rolling in. Keep them coming, guys. We're here for you. We definitely want to support you. Yeah, in response to people running deep, the play where Von Miller got his sack, everybody was going deep. That's a great call out by you, Troll Pets. Let's see. Press has tight ends blocking defensive tackles in the run game, and man, that's never. But yeah, here. No, you know what? I don't do this often. I'm giving a comment, Abel. It's more that's I was screaming on, I think it was this show about Gabe Davis blocking Myles Garrett. If tight ends, if Britton Strange and Farrell are blocking, go ahead, Travis. You got
this. But other teams get away with it though.
How do you mean?
I'm not saying you should make a plan of doing it all the time. But other teams get away with doing some of this stuff ever so often, maybe being a little bit cute, if you want to put it that way. But it works for other teams on occasion if you can find the right scheme to make it work.
I'll say this: you're not wrong, and this is one that's uniquely personal to me. Like as a Niners fan, I was ticked. Why would you put a tight end on Hassan Reddick? And that's what ended up hurting him 2 years ago. When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl because they had to go to eventually play Christian McCaffrey at quarterback. But somebody told me, hey, listen, man, a lot of teams do that. You shouldn't freak out about that. You know who told me that? Hassan Reddick himself, when I asked him if he felt disrespected that they sent a tight end after him. He corrected me and set me right. Hey, man, teams do that. No, I never felt disrespected. I just did my job after that. I was like, yeah. You know what, Hassan Reddick? You are good people. I shook that man's hand for schooling me and reminding me why I'm merely a student of the game. Anyways, so I thought that was a good story.
Well, no. Shout out to Alfie Crow of Big Cat Country. That man says because Peterson's doing his press conferences that Peterson has concepts of a plan. Don't worry, Jacksonville. Yeah,
that's a hell of a quote.
That makes me feel good. At least we can laugh through this, man. We used to this though.
I maybe we got to have that man on the show. I'd love to talk about that directly. Anyways, let's go here. Strange dropped a must-have ball by Trevor. Parker dropped a must-have ball by Mac. Those were top 100. I'm gonna say this for Brenton at least. Well, both, I guess, technically speaking, Parker Washington is a backup as well. I don't feel like Britton had a horrible game. He did have the one touchdown, which
2 catches.
Yeah, he did have
That's
the one touchdown.
Not a great game, but
I didn't say he was all Madden. Chill out. Like
I'm just trying to call a spade, man. I ain't here to get participation trophies.
You did. He did what I would expect a backup tight end to do. That's what I'm saying.
Backup tight end to do, but no, he's not a backup tight end. No, we don't look at him that way. He is the future starting tight end. That's how we look at it when you draft him in the second round. That's who he is, right?
Bro. Right. So we've had this show already. Don't you do this. All right. You are trying to trigger me to drag me down with you, and I still gotta host the show. So I need to get my composure as much as I can with my loud mouth self. Anyways,
I'm just saying, when a man has 5 targets and he has 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown, I'm happy for the touchdown. Don't get me wrong, but the two catches is my problem. Because again, you are my starting tight end. You are not my backup tight end. Because if
Right
Evan
now he
Ingram is
is.
not
Yeah.
getting extended, hey man, if Evan Ingram don't get extended, what
Ooh.
next year, the year after next, that's supposed to be your starting tight end. If you're a good GM, if you're an average GM, I mean, we've done this song and dance between Luke Farrell, Brendan Strange, and Evan Ingram, or between Foye and Ventrell Miller, and between Chad Muma. Like we got a list of these guys that we keep doing this with, this whole song and dance, man. If that's who you draft them to be, Parker Washington. If that's who you draft them to be, Christian Kirk, then he better be showing me some Christian Kirk activities. I don't know, all of them. So I'm judging them based on who you're supposed to be, not what you are. Hey, I ain't grading you on no curve because he's a backup tight end. Hell nah, you're the tight end. You're the guy.
We've had the conversation that you're a harsher judge than I, but damn, you just went. And I'm not. Listen, this isn't me saying you did anything wrong. I'm just acknowledging what happened right here. Like I'm like, okay, we're Travis. Okay, let's go to the next guy.
I ain't here for that, man. Nah, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow I may say it in a softer way, but not tonight. Nah, if you're the guy, be the guy. You're the dude. What they say? You're the dude. Be the dude.
The dude abides. Holy, apparently he doesn't. Never mind. Anyways, let's get to the comment. The 3 teams in the NFL are 3-0-3. The Titans, the Jaguars, and the Bengals. Which is
son of a bitch. Do you understand? Do you understand how much y'all took this from me, Jacksonville? I need you to understand this, Duval. I had an opportunity to talk all the trash about Will Levis being hot trash, being hot garbage because he is so dang bad as a quarterback. And what does our quarterback do? He overthrows guys, doing the same crazy stuff. We're 0-3, looking equally bad with them. We're 4th place in the AFC South. We ain't got no room. I literally have no room to talk trash to the sorry Tennessee Titans with their Mayo Messiah at quarterback, who's just doing like crazy Aaron Rodgers without the Rodgers part stuff. Like I'm
Hold
so
on,
mad, man. Y'all took this from me.
Hold on. Trevor has not done anything like Mayonnaise Messiah has done in that Bears game. Don't you do it.
He's 0-3.
See, you're gonna. I mean, I get that you're going to use the Bill Parcells defense, and that's what you do right there. You want. Oh, you are what your record says you are. No,
yes.
No, you're not. And I cover entirely too much college football for my brain to think that way. So, by the way, shouts to the Black and Gold Banneret, UCF in Colorado this week. Make sure you check that out. I got a lot of stuff going on there. blackandgoldbanneret.com, Black and Gold Banneret YouTube channel. Anyways, big noon Saturday kickoff. So no, I can't compare those two, but the fact that those two teams have the same records, I will agree with you that that's a coaching problem, not a quarterback one. I'm gonna leave that.
All right. I mean, one of them has scored more touchdowns than the other, and I'm pretty sure you can guess which one that would be. Is it the one in Jacksonville?
I don't look at many.
So one of them does crazy stuff with the balls. That's why I said like very Aaron Rodgers without the Rodgers, because he's not gonna come back and win games.
So
but
he's gonna
absolutely do crazy stuff and give the ball away to the other team. But he'll still score a few touchdowns.
You're saying he's more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers. Got it. And
I mean, yeah, he's more Brett Favre. But again, he still ain't coming back and winning games. It is what it is. But I'm saying you took this from me because I had the perfect opportunity to finally talk trash on this trash quarterback, and meanwhile we have a trash team, and I don't know what to do with this, man. Because they have to. You are what your record says you are, and right now you are lifeless. 0-3.
I mean, the playoffs are not in the future statistically. I get it.
Playoffs. Playoffs. We talking about playoffs? Come on, bro.
Did you just go Jim Mora of color on me right there? Is that what you did? I'm not mad at you.
Why gotta be of color? Like I'm sure Jim hang out in all the spots in the hood. What you mean? Like I know he know the hey man, I know Jim know the places.
Okay. Excuse me. I apologize. I thought I was giving you credit. My bad. I will step back. Jim Mora.
I'm sure Jim knows how to slum it. That's all I'm saying.
Jim Mora knows no color. Got it. I hear you, homie. I'm with you. All right. No problem. That's my bad. I apologize. I redact my statement or retract my statement. Both. Why not?
Man,
anyway.
What are we looking at?
Here's what I'm looking here. I don't know how you feel about this.
Ooh,
We have so much money tied up in, well, let's face it, average guys. Do you agree with that
top
statement?
top four in money tied up in our offensive line. And that's with
Oh,
a rookie tackle. And that's with a rookie tackle.
so
And
you
we're a bottom 3, 4
you
offensive line in the league right now.
you can tell I haven't looked at Spot Rack lately, so I apologize in advance. That's
Oh,
why
so this is
you.
an early, this was a conversation we had earlier this week talking to the Buffalo Bills guy. So I already had that in the top of my head just because of that conversation. And yeah, I'm like, if you're top four in offensive line, money that you've spent, you missed significantly.
Yeah,
You've made mistakes, and you have. And you want to be a team that runs the ball first, but you can't run the ball. You want to be a team that is able to do play action pass, but you can't hold up blocks for more than 2.5 seconds. Now what we talking about?
that's oddly
Everything that you
specific.
want, everything that you want to be, you ain't. I'm sorry. Like, what do you do with that? I want to be 6 feet tall. I wish I was in the league right now, but my knee says no. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we ain't what we want to be. And Trent Baalke, you are not good right now. Well, I know right now about it, but you ain't been good for a minute, bro. But
I'm about to say, don't bring
I've
up
been trying to
those
give him a
moves
pass.
of forcing Jim Harbaugh out of the building so he could go on and win a damn national championship and be currently undefeated with the freaking Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, thank you,
We can finally
Travis.
say it though. We can finally say it, man. We've been grading Trent on a curve. And I've talked to so many Jaguar fans who was like, "Hey man, I'm actually okay with Trent now. I'm actually okay." And it sucks because I'm not like saying this. I don't know Trent well enough to say I dislike him or like him as a person. I am talking about your ability to do your job. I am purely talking about your ability to if you're a truck driver, your ability to stop at red lights and not get into car accidents. I don't know what to tell you. Like Trent right now, yeah, Trent right now, you are not good objectively at your job. And everybody who keeps saying I am not angry with Trent, I am not mad at Trent, you're grading Trent Baalke on a curve, and I need you to understand that, and I need you to come to terms with that. You are grading him on a curve, and we don't do that here. The goal is the goal is the goal. The limit is the limit. Like whatever this is, the goal is to build a team full of talented players, not just good enough to win if everything goes right, and good enough to win if everything goes perfectly. Because if you have that guy, you have the Blake Bortles of GMs, and I'm not here for that right now, man. Like we gotta aim for better than this. We are at least a team that's good enough to be 500, but we're not that team that's going to win a championship, and we will not be as long as we have that GM and likely that coach.
Um, wow. Okay. So yeah, there you go. This is one of those where I'm taking that time signature. That just might be a TikTok. Anyways, let's see. Let's keep going here. The comments keep coming in. Thank you guys. We'll get to. I promise. Uh, for the love of God, bench Cam Robinson.
Well, now you might not be able to, because now we got Walker Little over there, at right tackle, trying to get benched himself.
Right. If I
And
may, let me take the floor for the O line on this. You know I'm a Walker Little guy. I have no idea what in the entire hell happened
yo,
tonight with him and his
yo.
performance. He was just outright
Mm.
crazy, just off. I get that he hasn't had a whole butt ton of playing time, but was he that shocked to come in on Monday night? Was that it? I don't know.
He wasn't ready. He
He
wasn't
wasn't
ready.
ready. Did you just
He
did you
wasn't
just
ready.
did you just Kevin Hart Walker Little? Is that what just happened? Oh
He
snap!
wasn't ready. He's like he got punched in the face and he was just like, no, I wasn't ready. Okay, cool. He gathered himself and then gave up another. I don't know, and gave
Then
up
he
another
gave a
pressure.
sack. That's right. Gracious. Let's see. Here
And
we
man, the defensive line was nowhere to be found, and everybody's giving Walker Little all the shade, and they're giving Walker Little all the shade because they can't give it to Trent Baalke. To be real, because Walker Little, I mean, sorry, I said Walker Little, and I meant Trayvon Walker. Sorry,
gotcha.
all the shade because they can't give it to Trent Baalke, but nobody's having a conversation about where's Josh Allen. What happened
I
there?
mean,
I
you
I
and I
didn't see him.
you and I've touched on here in this episode in fairness, but like I said earlier, I assume that he's getting attention. I assume that teams are double teaming. I'm assuming that's happening. But
Quite
you're
possible.
right. It took one. He finally got a sack in week 2 when he too got back. I mean, this is a conversation we
Right.
kind of had about Trent Baalke not believing him as much in the offseason.
Right.
Maybe that's when he was air quotes sort of right about. But then again, he ended up paying him, and I don't know. It's a whole weird
Right. Trevon at least got the tackle for a loss. I mean,
fact.
Josh just got tackles, 3 tackles. I think 3 tackles, 1 solo. That was what he got for the night, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you got Josh Allen who got paid. You got Tyson Campbell who got paid. You got Foye who got hurt, and that sucks. So I'm not because Foye's been balling out of control. So I'm not going to down that. But you got Allen, you got uh, you got Tyson Campbell, and you got Trevor who've all been paid. And oof, you 3 out of 4 don't look good right now. Let's be clear. Let's be clear about this. We raved and we championed and we clapped and golf clapped and everything else this offseason about all 4 of these extensions. Yes, yes, yes. Good show. Yes, all that, all this offseason. And now we're looking back at this just 3 whole weeks later, and this people are questioning a lot of these extensions all of a sudden. Tyson Campbell hasn't shown the ability to be healthy. Trevor's had literally his 2 worst games that we've seen him play since that happened, and it might be in a new offensive scheme.
I'm
Might
going
be in a new offensive scheme next year. Josh Allen has honestly been AWOL so far. I mean, that's the over exaggeration, and let me be clear about that because Allen did have a good game last week. That I want to be real about that. No, Allen had a good game last week, but he has not shown what we need him to be. How about that? And that's what I'm saying.
Completely fair. That is completely accurate.
Foye has been Foye doing his thing. Hey man, do work. Like
but you leave him off the side. You don't you put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby.
I got no extensions. I got nothing on that. But at the end of the day, like, even the extensions that we were championing to say that we have these guys for the future are now being questionable on actually being the future that we want. I mean, if that's the future you want, but boy, we're gonna have some questions in the future about what this is gonna look like.
Bro, you got people going in the comments too. I'm gonna blame you for some of these, but we'll get there here in just a second. Cool. Troll Pats puts in there a run first offense with no run blockers. We don't need to fight about that. We've said plenty on that. So we mentioned this earlier. DeMar picked T-Law and killed Tua. Wow.
Came back from the dead just so he could kill Tua. That's all.
And yet somehow Joe Flacco still gets the goddamn comeback player of the year. What are we doing?
Stuck on that.
You better know it. Anyways, Panthers put up 35 on us easily. And then Ramon Jones goes, Andy Dalton. Red Rifle would have that shot. That's true. Let's see. You got the people going on the Panthers 100%. The Panthers would smoke us because they can move the ball.
And they're playing competent offense. We can't even say that, man. Like just competent. Just being just not making mistakes. Like, come on, man. We ain't doing that.
So, and then of course, this is what we've been saying the whole offseason process. Coaching and management has failed this team. Yeah, I think we're there.
We scored 10 points. 10 points. And I said we were going to lose this game. I predicted we were going to lose 23-17. But I thought we would at least score 17. And I thought that was being pessimistic. Mm-hmm. We scored 10 points, man. We scored 3 points at halftime.
Yeah, I listen. I went on the Buffalo Blueprint myself and said it's gonna be a close game. Whoops. Yeah, that was a mistake.
We're basing it on history, but we forgot there's a longer history here, and that history is because Jaguars.
Well, here's the thing. I really expected a lot more from the defensive line. That's where my calculation went bad. I'll say it up front.
Dude, I really feel like they gave up on this. I don't think that's a skill thing. It just feels like they gave up. It feels like that was not, and I'm ready to watch the all 22. I wish they would put it on the site. I wish I ain't have to wait until tomorrow to see it. But I have a feeling that we're gonna look at that tape and be like, nah, man, that ain't it. That ain't it. Like, some of it's skill, but that ain't it. Like, that's just not the effort you're looking for.
That's the analysis I'll be looking for on Wednesday. Duval Dive podcast at 30 p.m. Eastern. Just make sure you all know and recognize. Let's see. There's a lot of similar stuff here. That's why I'm not doing every comment, because there's a lot of things that are the same. But Bulky teeing it up to happen. Yeah. Bulky's the common denominator. Run mesh spot and hit Etienne on the wheel route. That play would be better than 95% of the playbook. I mean, we have seen successful wheel routes with Etienne, no question. But I don't know that I've seen a wheel route since 2022 that was super successful. I could be wrong about that.
not successful. No, we run him all the time. I mean, he ran one
I saw,
tonight, and we lost. Well, he lost the ball and the touchdown, and had everybody pissed off at him.
yeah,
That I was talking to, anyways. But hey, man, and also Tank Bixby got 2 carries tonight. Thought that was odd. It's just
oh,
another one of those odd things.
fourth down conversion, by the way. Let's give the dude his flowers on that. Like
Well, right.
it was clearly
So
crushed up the middle, and he took it outside. That was a brilliant play by him.
So 11 carries for Travis Etienne, who has 6 yards of carry. Dearness also had 2 rushes for 12 yards. Tank Bigsby had 2 rushes for 9 yards. I'm just curious why. I guess they really want Travis Etienne to be the guy. Contract year, I fully understand it. It was just an odd thing again after seeing exactly what Tank Bigsby did in that Miami game to never get another carry. He didn't get a carry last week. He got hurt the whole after the first quarter, and he gets 2 carries this week. I don't understand what this is about. Like, I don't understand what you guys are doing on offense and defense with all these rotations. Like, are you just trying to put your guys on game? Are you just trying to put your guys on? Like, is this not about winning anymore? I don't understand. Because I'm not trying to say Travis Etienne is bad, but Tank Bigsby is not bad enough where he shouldn't be getting some of those carries, 40% of those carries. I think that's reasonable.
So I'm going to get some nerd schmack in here. Reminds me of George R.R. Martin in South Park. Don't worry about the dragons coming, and they're going to be bigger than ever. We have the concept of a plan. Oh, that's great. Let's see. I'll agree with this statement from Joel Pats. Kirk made the best play of the game. Yeah, clearly the catch with the and one on the targeting foul is pure gold from Christian. This is what we come to know. This is a pro Christian Kirk space. Obviously, we were going to show that comment. We'll leave it at that. Let's see. Yes. I don't know about. I'll flash just so that you know it was said. Will Levis is getting caught in 4K, not T-Law.
That's facts.
I don't know about all that.
You want to pretend you don't know about it? All right, cool. We're gonna all pretend we don't know what we're talking about. And look,
I honestly don't. Listen, if it's something like that, to take it off air. I don't want this to be a Shannon Sharp moment.
Oh, no. Folks know about Will Levis and his preseason movies that came out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Will Levis movie, and whatever you find, hey man, make sure your spam blockers off. I don't know what to tell you. But Will Levis
not to look for things. And I'll just continue to be disgusted because mayonnaise and coffee and eating the banana with the peel on wasn't enough already. Anyways,
I don't trust the man that's put mayonnaise in his coffee, and I don't trust the man who's selling mayonnaise. I mean, first of all, he's a man that's selling perfume, but more importantly, a man that's selling mayonnaise perfume. I don't trust your judgment. Come on.
I love this show right now. Troll Bats, oh my God, as if the night couldn't get worse for the Jags. Their plane is dealing with mechanical issues, and as of now, they can't take off and fly home from Buffalo until after 1 a.m. That just
nothing else working. But y'all, why should the pilots let them take their time off too?
It feels poetic. Absolutely correct. As tweeted, of course, by Ian Rappaport. Yes, thank you for that.
Nice. I bet their plane got one wheel. Like, just whatever. Like, why should anything else work? You don't deserve a plane with 3 wheels.
So for all the stuff you have to deal with, I got to give you this. Luke is giving you fat props right here. Travis spitting right now. Hey, listen, the comments are on your side, brother. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, okay. This is a good question, and we'll probably kind of wind it down after this one. How much is it Allen, and how much is it our defensive scheme and Bill's O-line being that good? So the basis is how much of it is the Bills being good at their job versus the Jags being bad at theirs. I will answer the cop-out answer so Travis can go deeper. I think it's elements of both, and then Travis take it from there.
You think it's elements of both? Well, the fact of the matter is that the Jaguars defense, we've only have 2 games to compare it against, right? I mean, unless you want to start getting into preseason stuff, I don't like to give that too much credit. But at the end of the day, we did see the Jaguars only for 2 series against the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's kind of Pat Mahomes. He don't get sacked like that. But that
team with Pat Mahomes off the field ran on them too. So I think that says plenty.
Right. So I mean the Bills didn't get sacked at all against the Dolphins, and they beat the heck out of that team. And the against the Cardinals, you had Allen getting sacked twice. That was a closer game where the Cardinals were even up at one point in the game, so I can kind of see that happening. The Jaguars never got into a position of control in this game. And Allen got the ball off moderately quickly. So to your point, yeah, some of it is the Bills just being able to get the ball out on time because again, the Jaguars defense struggled with stuff like that last year. Every time they went up against a quarterback who got the ball out on time, they weren't close to getting sacks. And it was most of their sacks were like racked up on younger quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, like guys who just holding the ball past that 2.5, 3 second time frame. And then like you look at that Josh Allen highlight tape from last year, we had this argument. It was like 7 of those sacks were just guys holding onto the ball, running around like
Argument? No. I
yes.
think we ended
No,
up
no, no,
with.
not me and you, not me and you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got into this argument with one of my group chats because I said, "Hey, man, I just want to I just want to keep it 100. A lot of those sacks were garbage sacks. If you're playing a veteran quarterback, they don't happen."
I'll even
And
double down with you on that. I actually wrote the article on Jaguars on SI. I technically can't bing them. I don't write them for them anymore.
yeah,
On Jaguars on SI when he broke the record. I had the bell ready and everything. That's just depressing. You know what? Shouts to John Shipley, though, because he's good people. There's your
yeah.
dang bell. Uh,
So
with
yes, we struggle getting
well,
home
hold on, let me get
without
there.
pressure.
A lot of the sacks last year by both Josh and Trayvon were, especially the multi-sack games against crap offensive fronts. In other words, they were eating the weaker antelope in the dang herd, right?
Yeah.
So
and now we're not, and now you're not. Josh Allen, that is not the weak antelope.
It's not the weak antelope.
Yes. And we've seen that again, and we're not even playing like even last year in 2023, playing against some just average NFL teams with average NFL veterans, Joe Flacco, for instance. And you're not sacking those guys because at the end of the day, those are guys who know better to get the ball out timely. And you're struggling to do that. But that's why I said I had frustrations with Nielsen earlier in this game because he wasn't putting those defensive backs in in press alignment just to get rid of the 3-step drop immediate. This is pitch and catch stuff. This is quick screens, quick throws right down the line of scrimmage and just picking up free yardage. All that free yardage was there almost the whole first quarter, first half, and it drove me nuts.
I'll say this for Ryan Clark, who was doing the DB analysis and all of that. He did mention with the Keon Coleman touchdown that there was no press up front. There was no contact at the line.
Monteric.
Yeah, and Monteric Brown was just in a bad situation. Keon Coleman gets to run across the entire damn field to get his first touchdown as an NFL.
That's Monteric's strength. That's the thing I've always said about him is the
fact
what
that happened to this defensive coordinator supposed to be so aggressive, and then they're not hitting at the line. What do we do?
And they didn't do it today. And it's the first time this season I've seen them not do it. And that's why it drove me crazy. We're like, wait, why are y'all playing Josh Allen different than you play everybody else? Because he's Josh Allen? Yes, but make him beat you. Don't make it easy on him. Don't give him the Tom Brady treatment where I want to say nickel and dime me down the field, and then he does exactly that.
Well, moreover, when you try Josh Allen and you make it at least slightly difficult, he's mistake prone. He damn near threw 2 picks tonight. Let's not forget
high variance plays. It's going to be an interception or it's going to be a touchdown, but at least make it hard. They made it too damn easy.
You're not wrong, kid. Just give him a chance to sit back and wait, especially when your D-line isn't doing its job. That's a great point. You're not wrong. I know I said it, but now I feel like I learned something at the same time.
No. Just we were thinking the same thing. We just putting in the words, man.
Hey, listen.
But that's what it is.
Listen, we're almost an hour deep in this episode. I think this has been a fine therapy session for both you, Travis Holmes of Big Cat Country, and the Duval Devout. Thank you, everybody in the comments. While it wasn't a great game, we sure as hell won the comments tonight. This was a great show with you guys. It made it a better show tonight. So thank you for your contribution.
We definitely appreciate you. And if you're listening, please like and subscribe. Even if you're a Dolphins fan or a Titans fan, we appreciate the like and subscribe, and you can just hate from the comments.
Oh, you're going for hate. Charlie Murphy.
Hey man, hate comments are still comments. Let's go.
You're going full Howard Stern, and I'm not mad at you, partner. Anyways, Travis, tell the world where you can be found, my guy.
Oh, yeah, I can be found on bigcatcountry.com, where we cover the Jacksonville Jaguars in good times and bad. And, ooh, boy, it's bad right now. But, yes, check out the site. We'll have the post-game write-up. I mean, I should have had it up an hour ago, but therapy session was needed.
We'll
So
get
we'll
there
have it
when
up
it
to
gets there.
yeah, we'll have it up to midnight or tomorrow morning. You'll be fine. You ain't looking for it right now. I know. And yes, and then we
Slow.
will
You'll be fine.
and we will have our takeaways from the All 22 watch. Sometime on Tuesday afternoon, possibly maybe Wednesday morning. We'll see. I don't know. Y'all don't care. They burn the tape. Where can you be found, sir?
Really quick. Thanks, Luke. He's already did the subscribe and all that. I appreciate you, brother. You may be a Dolphin fan, but we respect you coming in, and there'll be more fun times, I'm sure, on the show. Maybe not on the field, but we'll look forward to that. Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as a student of the game. Check out my writings with the Fans First Sports Network. I'm about to put the finishing touches on The Good, the Bad, and the Spotty. That should probably drop tomorrow on Fans First Sports Network. Check that out. Check out their website there for my writings. And of course, you'll find all the podcasting there where you need to just look for Duval Dive via the Fans First Sports Network. That'll be a good time for you. Of course, my work covering the UCF Knights, who will be hosting prime time. No, the game's at 3:30. Like prime time is Coach Prime. Colorado's coming to Orlando.
I'm trying to get tickets to that.
Bro, Fox Big Noon, man. It's a big old deal. You better recognize it. Yeah. I mean, good luck. Apparently, Ticketmaster's a problem. Anyways, but
I'm trying to get sideline. I'm trying to get sideline tickets. No, that I'm trying to pull favors in. I've never done it since I graduated, but I got to be there.
You pull that off. Text me. I'll come find you on the field within the last 5 minutes. That'll be a hell of a picture. Anyways. I'll be doing that for the Black and Gold Banneret this Saturday. So make sure you check that out. Not only the blackandgoldbanneret.com, but the Black and Gold Banneret YouTube channel, where we will do live post-game reaction on that. Of course, also Wednesday night, it's going to be a great time. We have our weekly Duval Dive podcast proper, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. By then, Travis would have looked at the film. He might be more angry, but darn it, that's why you're going to tune in, because it's going to be fun. He'll go full Jim Mora in every way, form, facet, or fashion, potentially. So let's see what happens with that. Of course, then there's the Student of the Game podcast as well, my show that I do every week on all things sports. And I can't promise the Jacksonville Jaguars won't come up as a question somewhere in there. So, and of course, my work with the Huddle Up podcast, that's tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern as well. I think that's everything. So, for my good friend, my personal champion, Travis D. Holmes, who provided himself therapy by bringing you therapy tonight, Duval Dive. And of course, I'm Kyle Nash, student of the game. Till next time, everybody. If I can get the thing to go right. There we go. Class dismissed.